and welcome back to the Brand Builder. So today is another episode and we're going to talk about NFTs.
Ooh, NFTs. Hello once again, I'm Kyra.
And I'm Steph.
And as mentioned earlier, we will be talking about NFTs. So we are at the Brand Builder today and we have our very special guest,
Yeah.
Alexander Go.
Yeah. Hi, Alex.
Hi, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, sure. So let's talk about NFTs, no? So NFTs actually stand for non-fungible tokens. Am I right?
Yes.
Well, this is a very interesting topic for me personally, just because I don't know much about it, Kyra.
Same here.
Diba? So I bet a lot of our listeners also would like to know like what NFTs are and the importance that they have right now.
Alex actually is the co-founder and CFO of Likha.
Mm-hmm.
So Likha is the first Filipino NFT in the marketplace that features
Wow.
Filipino artists.
Wow. So
yeah, can you believe?
Filipino pride talaga,
Filipino
no?
pride. Yeah, so maybe you can share a little bit about Likha to the
Okay.
viewers.
All right. So, hi guys. Ayun, so basically, I'm currently the CFO of two companies for the NFT and blockchain side. No? So, Bayanichain, it's the parent company.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bayanichain tackles more of the blockchain side. No? So, blockchain meaning the different marketplaces, diba? How we
Mhm.
can integrate blockchain to different companies. No? So, let's say you're Jollibee, let's say you're an F&B company, you want to integrate blockchain into your company. That's what Bayanichain does.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can explain a little bit more, as early as now,
Yes.
what blockchain
Yeah.
is to our listeners.
Okay. So actually, mamaya pa explain sana, but I think it would be nice to explain it in a bird's eye. I mean, in the easiest way possible.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of us are curious, and I really did my research to sift the information out. No? So
Mhm.
basically, blockchain. I think we've heard of it. In a nutshell, it's an immutable, decentralized public ledger. Sounds
Okay.
complicated, diba? That's the
So,
same.
what does that mean?
So, so essentially, let me give an example. No? This is the easiest way I can explain the concept.
Mhm.
So, let's say you have 12 friends, diba?
Okay.
12 friends. And all 12 friends, let's say, ano ba, what's a good name? Their names are January to December. Yan.
Okay.
And these
That
12
was quick.
friends.
Yeah, that was
he thought of that
January to December. Okay.
And let's say they have walkie-talkies, no? Let's say may walkie-talkies sila lahat. And so there are rules, no? So the first rule is, for example, may sabihin one of them says something
Si
inside.
January.
Si January may sabihin sa walkie-talkie.
Mhm.
Malalaman na lahat. Everybody will know, and
Yes.
and that information will be stored there forever. Di
So that's the
matatanggal.
public aspect.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
it will be stored there forever. And they cannot lie. No, that's the second rule. They cannot lie. So let's say mahuhuli sila if they lie. So
Okay.
those are the two rules, no, encompassing this structure.
Mhm.
And
just a little bit of information as to why they cannot lie is because something about blockchain, right? They kind of checks
Yeah,
one
they-
is to
they-
one. Maybe
yeah,
you can explain that a little
so
bit.
essentially blockchain in general, no, they're so yun, again, let me go back to my example.
So the
User friends.
question, I guess, more on is why cannot anybody lie?
Also,
Mhm.
people, I mean, they can't lie kasi there are a lot of checkers, diba? So for example, may transaction, sobrang tayo mag-check. So
Mhm.
it's totally impossible na it's near impossible na may mag-lie na isa kasi if he lies, may punishment kasi.
Yeah, so
There's a punishment.
basically, let's say using the walkie-talkie example, to explain it a little bit further, what Alex is trying to say is that there's a copy in everybody's
Has it.
let's say cell phone, January's, April's, May's.
Mhm.
So December cannot change the value because April and May has the original value. And
Yes.
therefore would know that the person lied.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah.
Yes. And I'd like to add rin, no, na I think I mentioned the rules, diba? So let's have an example, no, in the real life, even in real life, but siguro on that case basis. So let's say January, gives a flower to December
Okay.
on January, diba?
Mhm.
And
Okay.
and
Getting
let's say
confusing.
let's say no March, diba? April accused January of not giving a flower to December on January. Everybody will find out because it's in the system na. Parang ganun. And also,
And
Oh.
everybody's
Yeah.
copy
Yeah.
Yeah.
of that very same ledger.
Yes, correct. So parang accounting ledger lang yan. Ledgers lang.
Mhm.
All transactions. And the thing dito is, yung mga transactions to, hindi na napapapalitan. You can't change them na. Diba? Which is why it's so parang groundbreaking. Kasi
Yeah.
in different fields, like law, diba, law? Marami pa dayain sa law.
Exactly.
Real estate. Diba? So, di mo na masasabi na, for example, the seller claims na he bought this for X amount of well, they will find out in the ledger in the blockchain na mismo na, oh, you didn't purchase this for X.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And also, let's say, you buy a fruit, sa supermarket, diba?
Mhm.
Ano ba fruit? I love pomelos.
Okay,
So,
pomelos.
pomelos. So, kami sa Bayanichain, one of our goals is to really take this into real life examples, no, yung blockchain na to. So, let's say you're gonna buy a fruit, no,
Okay, yeah. Mhm. So blockchain, in your words, no, is number one, it's public,
public,
and then
decentralized, immutable, meaning you
Mhm.
can't change the value.
And how do you take the blockchain concept, no, in your company?
Okay, good question. So, kami kasi what we do is we find real life solutions for companies on how they can utilize blockchain. No? So, I think an example here would be, yung sa supermarket, diba? You plan to do this, no? So, let's say you plan to buy a pomelo, diba?
Yeah.
Kasi right now, people may doubts yung mga tao, diba? Whether this organic, whether this came from this or that, diba? Whether it was grown healthily or what. Or they use fertilizer. Malalaman lahat kasi matatrace sa lahat. When ang plano namin is, let's say you sell the fruit, you can scan a QR code. Tapos, doon sa QR code na yun, malalaman lahat ng mga nangyari. So, from start to end, everybody will find out what happened with that fruit. No? So, na-fertilizer ba siya, ganito, ganyan, all that, where it went to the warehousing.
There's basically an online
Yes.
footprint of what
Correct.
happened.
Online
It
footprint
contains all the
yes,
information.
that
Yeah.
cannot be changed at all. Hindi na
Cannot
mababago.
be changed.
Ayun na, so that, I guess that's one of the implications of blockchain, no, sa company namin. And also, with real estate, diba? Again, I think I mentioned earlier, if the seller plans to deceive the buyer, mahirap. Kasi the buyer will find out sa blockchain
Because
mismo.
of blockchain.
Yes, because of the ledgers there, diba? So, let's say, the seller claims that he replaced the chimney, no? If the seller tried to deceive the buyer, malalaman niya na fake kasi makita naman niya sa ledgers. Not sure if you get it, but that's the concept of it.
So it kind of protects the buyer, no?
Protects the buyer.
Exactly,
Tama. Protects the buyer.
exactly.
Both parties rin.
Yeah,
Both parties.
even the seller,
Yeah.
no. But I think more importantly, the buyers, because
Yes.
they really know what they're buying.
Yeah.
Basically, as an information is out there, and you know that these type of information can't be tampered with.
Correct.
So whatever the situation is, now from fruits to real estate, all those different things. But what exactly, does your company do?
Oh,
If you were to describe what your company does with the blockchain technology, that's
We do
something
this,
that Steph and I are very interested in.
Okay. So basically, what we do is we do the consultancy side. No? So let's say, again, more on B2B kami sa Bayanichain. So let's say, a big conglomerate or a big company wants to integrate blockchain. Parang let's say, a supermarket or someone in the real estate for business, diba? They want to integrate blockchain. We'll do what I just mentioned earlier, diba? We'll integrate those systems into their...
And how do you help, let's say, the supermarket integrate blockchain into their business?
Oh, that's I can answer that sadly. That's what my CTO can answer. Yung the whole process. But what we do is really the consultancy side. No, on the steps that they have to take, diba? On how they can make it user friendly kasi this is a new concept for everybody.
Yeah, and it can be intimidating to a lot of people, especially if it's this somehow like complicated term.
New
diba?
technology. Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is rin, I noticed rin, no, na a lot of the companies, syempre hype siya, diba? So everybody wants to integrate it into their companies. But the thing I tell them all the time is, there's some olden time na mga, di ba olden time, but like there are manual things that work better than blockchain at times, diba? Hindi naman kailangan lahat sobrang Web3.
It's a case-to-case
Case-to-case basis pa rin. You play it by ear. So, that's what I would suggest.
Okay, so let's say, for example, our listeners out there are interested, have a business, are interested in having blockchain technology. What should they do? How should they contact you?
Oh, you can just contact our page. We have a page in Facebook and Instagram. So, Bayanichain and Likha. But for the blockchain side,
Bayanichain and Likha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Likha. So, when you search those two, ours will eventually pop up kasi Our reach is pretty good, no, sa community ng mga NFTs. And
Mm-hmm.
I think NFTs I haven't been able to discuss, which is the pinnacle or the point of our
Yeah, well,
podcast.
something we can get into also
Yeah, definitely.
later on. Yeah.
So NFTs naman, no, in layman's terms, personal sports cards, diba? You have all these collectibles. And the thing with NFTs, non-fungible tokens.
Yeah.
Non-fungible means two items that aren't the same. So
Two
I think a
items that
fungible,
aren't the same.
something fungible is currency,
Mhm.
fiat, diba? So
Mhm.
Philippine peso, they're the same.
Okay.
Diba? But NFTs, magkaiba sila. So they're all unique. Each and every one is unique kasi they all have their own parang code, diba? Sa when you check it sa blockchain, may sarili sila lahat na code.
Okay.
So that's why you can't tamper with the ledger, which is why it's so ano kasi diba syempre with art. I think sa NFT side nakita niyo lahat yung art, diba? Like the arts,
Yeah.
the paintings that you've seen
Yeah, very
online.
interesting.
So I think the thing that to clear the minds of our viewers, no? The thing that differentiates past art and NFTs, diba? I think a lot of them are saying, pwede naman to screenshot diba? Pwede mo screenshot,
Yeah,
pwede
oo.
mo save sa phone. Why still pay this amount of money?
That's actually a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing that NFT really does is the concept of provenance. Provenance means the ability to track, diba? To prove, no?
Yeah.
Saan nanggaling yung who owns it, diba?
Through
Who
the
owns-
blockchain technology
through the blockchain,
again.
because you'll
Okay.
find out who actually owns the NFT. So, makita mo someone's claiming no na nasa kanya to, you can just trace the artwork sa blockchain tapos malalaman na nanloloko na sila, diba? So that's I think that's a
Yeah.
more of a flex then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kasi
Yeah.
for other people kasi parang sa kanila I was like this before na para sabi ko, pwede ko screenshot to diba? Pwede ko screenshot, pwede ko naman i-download yung picture. But why do I pay? People pay like millions of dollars for one gorilla-looking creature, diba?
Yeah. Well,
na-
speaking
When
of
you can get it for free.
Yeah.
no?
yeah, speaking of amount, no, I have this mindset kasi personally that those art that are included in NFT are high value art. So
Yes.
is that something true or is that just like a stereotype that a lot
Actually,
of
ano
people
siya good question, no? For me, it's subjective kasi some NFT artworks na magaganda,
Mhm.
they're not high in value, pero something like, parang there was one parang if you're familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk, diba? Gary V,
Yeah.
he has his collection parang
Yeah.
simple animals lang, doodles lang.
Mhm.
That doesn't look good. But
Yeah.
the utility it provides, utility
Yeah.
meaning the value it adds, diba? So let's say I have this NFT. What utility does it have? Sobrang
Yeah.
important din yung utility So I think sa
Okay.
Gary V na mga NFTs, the sorry, nabubulol ako. The utility it gives them would be free access to one-on-one meetings with Gary Vaynerchuk, which is very expensive.
Yeah. So that's how you add value to your
to add
NFT.
value. So and that's where Likha comes in, diba? We have a B2C, so that's our platform, but we also have a B2B.
Maybe in one line you can explain what Likha does.
Essentially, Likha is the first Philippine NFT platform for Filipino artists.
Okay.
And we also help,
Mhm.
so that's the B2C side, no?
Mhm.
Business to consumer. Sa B2B side naman, we
So
help,
it's an NFT platform,
Yes.
and what does that mean?
para siyang eBay for NFTs.
Mhm.
Ganun siya.
Okay.
Like a marketplace.
Marketplace.
Where you can
essentially.
buy and sell NFTs.
Yes.
Okay.
And the thing that differentiates us from the market is, number one, we're curated. We curate our collections. No? So we just don't let, kunwari, you're a random person who wants to mint something. Tapos you're gonna sell it high, di ba? Hindi pwede yun. Kami, we curate it. To
And
an
you
extent,
make sure.
yes,
yeah.
we make sure that everything that comes out of our system or our platform, okay lahat, maganda. Diba? All from renowned artists,
And
diba?
it builds, legitimacy when you're
Legitimacy, correct.
actually participating in a marketplace like that instead of doing it on your own,
Yeah.
with no one to guide you. I
Tama.
think that's so important to have when it comes to NFT.
And fun thing is a lot of people already tried, no, to do a marketplace. Pero mahirap. The tech behind it is pretty hard.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
there were-
So,
go.
what would you say makes you stand out from
Good
all
question.
the other marketplaces out there?
Yeah.
number one I think curated kami. Number two naman, usually yung gas fees matataas. No,
The
gas
what
gas
fees?
fees, gas fees
Okay.
meaning these are the transaction fees.
Uh-huh.
So on a day-to-day basis, it it goes high, goes low on a daily basis.
Mhm.
And sa amin, we don't charge that high. Sobrang baba na sa amin.
Mhm.
Diba? Parang sa iba, parang $10, $12, kami, cents lang, ganyan. Very, very big change. Very, very big difference.
Oh, wow.
So you're saying it's cheaper
Correct.
to do, your business with you guys.
Yes.
Okay.
It's cheaper to mint NFTs on our platform.
Mm-mm.
And okay rin yung reach namin kasi ayan, I think this would be a nice time to, to give a shout out to my partner. So we're partnered with and first si CEO namin. CEO namin actually, he's younger than me. 19 years old.
Wow.
Tapos CTO namin is an MVP sa Microsoft, meaning
Mhm.
most valuable programmer. And so, siya yung first, I think, in the Philippines na MVP. Tapos, you also have Julius Babaw. He's part of our team. Julius Babaw, Chinkitan.
Interesting
wow.
team. Wow.
So,
and big
Okay.
names also.
Yeah, and we also have the owner of Inflatable Island Desert Museum.
Yeah.
If you guys are familiar,
Mm,
so the
yeah.
Experience Group
Yeah.
is also our partner. And we also have a very, very renowned artist rin sa team namin who does advertising. So,
Mhm.
very, very broad mix of dynamics.
Mhm.
We also have a Shell executive on our team rin before. So,
Goes to show how
Yeah.
much people can trust your platform, really.
yes.
Maybe you can share naman a
Mhm.
little bit with Steph and I,
Mm.
how it was building that brand.
Good question.
How it was parang getting it out there. Likha in your blockchain company.
Yeah.
You know,
Getting awareness up
yeah,
also.
getting awareness, the branding, the social media aspect of it all.
Good question. So, initially, it was really hard kasi
Mhm.
a lot of people couldn't grasp the concept, diba?
Mm-mm.
And if you check our page, if you guys check our page, marami kaming mga how to do, how to mint, parang puro mga free
Educational
content. Yeah, educational free
content.
content. Kaya nga, minsan parang people mistake us as a education site kasi ang dami naming free content nilalabas.
Okay.
Yeah.
But essentially, we're a marketplace.
Yeah.
But then again, that's the part of the strategy naman, diba?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Diba? So, to get more consumers, to get more
Mm-mm.
engagement,
Mm-mm.
diba? You know that
Yeah.
from marketing perspective.
Yeah, and you actually have to tell people or show people that you know what you're doing
Correct.
and that you know what you're talking about. And one way to do that is to share the information you have with these audiences or potential diba, buyers and sellers in
Correct.
Likha.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing both
Sure.
businesses, no?
Glad to share, glad to share.
I'm sure it wasn't an easy path.
Mm.
Yeah,
Being
definitely.
able to build both brands, no, especially since
Mm.
it's a new concept altogether, NFT,
Yeah,
blockchain.
especially in the Philippines.
Yeah, especially in the Philippines, wherein these things are just starting, very baby,
That's true.
at the baby stage, no, getting people to understand through educational content.
Correct.
I think is one thing that you mentioned was very helpful for
Yeah.
them. And anything else you
Oh,
want to say? No,
Yeah,
in terms of-
I'd like to say something lang, no. Diba, I'm currently handling the legalities and the financial side. So two
Mhm.
very critical sides, diba?
Yeah.
With NFTs being bashed legally
Yeah.
and also financially din. Kasi
Mm-mm.
obviously you have these, diba, simple paintings or portraits that cost millions of pesos. So
Yes.
So
you
how
know.
do you handle that? No? Let's say somebody out there is listening to this,
Yeah.
facing the same problem. What
Mhm.
advice would you give them?
Honestly, there are a lot of videos naman for fintech. That's why,
Mhm.
diba, I took LM. I'm actually trying to reconsider taking law school again. Kasi nga, there are so little fintech lawyers around. I've tried searching. Kaya wala. Kaya rin ako rin nag-CLO. I mean, CFO, CLO, kind of the same.
Okay.
Chief Legal Officer. Kahit di pa ako lawyer. Diba? I
Oo.
haven't, I just pre-law lang ako, but kahit pa paano, I learned
Yeah.
sa corp law namin sa Ateneo.
Mm-mm.
So, I think you just really have to do your research, no? Kasi there aren't any books around it rin.
Yeah.
So, kaya mahirap. And for the financial side naman, you just have to do your marketing well. Essentially, marketing lang. Kasi if you do your marketing well, you can sell your NFTs well. That's the thing I found
Okay.
out. If you do your Discord channels well, diba, you market it well, you get the right partners, you get the right sponsors, you get the right partnerships, diba?
Yeah.
Everything will
Okay.
come into place.
Got it.
Getting all of these right is actually going to add value to the
Yes.
NFTs that you guys are actually offering. No?
Yeah.
In Likha.
Tsaka, also, like, the thing that shocked me here, no, honestly, kasi akala ko nung una. Kasi at first, lang ako financial advisor lang ako. I
Mm.
wasn't supposed to be a CFO.
Yeah.
But when I saw the promise in the brand was when I raised the first round of funding for the company. We raised the first round of funding. Isipin nyo guys, in the past few businesses I've done, usually rounds of funding get closed in a month. We closed ours in 2 days.
Mhm.
Wow.
Galing, di ba?
Wow, yeah. How are you
2
guys able to do
days.
that, no? Cut down the time that much.
I think it was because number one, it was one of the peaks of the NFT hype, di ba? It was all over the world, di ba?
Mhm.
And I think that contributed. Number two, I think the branding we developed as a whole. Okay, kasi
Which is what? How would you describe that branding? I think something, Steph and I very, very interested in.
I think branding wise, we're very sleek and also
Mhm.
user friendly. Very
Mhm,
important
mhm.
user friendly. Kasi
Mm-mm.
if some people message our page and we educate them all the time.
Mm-mm.
Hindi naman kami nahiya mag-educate kahit di
Yeah.
naman yun yung core purpose ng likha,
Yeah.
diba? To educate. Minsan nga inisip namin, should we stop doing these community gatherings? Yan dami na. And people mistake us for like an education
Yeah.
So yun.
Yeah. Well, we have a few listener questions, by the way,
Go.
from people who want to know more about NFT. But maybe quickly, you can talk to us about your favorite NFT piece that you've seen or that you've encountered.
So actually, the first one would be NF Tabs. It's an NFT collection of one of my partners sa Likha and Bayanichain. So I really appreciate his work.
Yeah.
Tapos number two would be Weather Report.
Weather report.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think a lot of people, the audience who are into NFTs know it rin. I got one. No, it's my profile picture actually. If you saw my profile picture, not sure, but you guys can check it nila.
We can stalk you
Yeah,
later on.
sure,
We can
sure,
stalk you
sure.
later on.
Weather
Sure.
report.
It's a cool
Weather
looking,
report, yeah.
NFT. Tapos the third one is Doodles. So Doodles yun nung isa. So it's essentially a doodle na cute. Cute na doodle na it's going for around millions na rin. Millions of
Millions
pesos.
na rin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all great pieces.
Wow, that's very interesting. I'm sure that I'll be checking out like NFTs also after this episode. But yeah, let's dig in deeper to the questions from our listeners. So we have here a question from Richard. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
So the first question is, do you think crypto will be sustainable in the long term?
Honestly, doing my research rin.
Mhm.
And again, I'm not the most knowledgeable yet sa topic na to. So please bear with me. I just started doing my research in December, Jan.
Mhm.
And it's very different eh. Sa stocks kasi, diba, there is a basis, diba?
Okay.
You have an economic basis or a financial basis
Aha.
or a psychological basis na titingnan mo yung trends
Mhm.
ng company. Dito wala eh. You just base it off market psychology. So, kunwari, hype to. This is hype. Tataas siya. If it's not hype, it's gonna go down, diba? Or let's say, yung oil, diba? Yung oil hike, yung oil spike, diba? That we're all familiar with.
Mm-mm.
Yun, bumaba siya, tumaas. It had lots of fluctuation. So,
Yeah.
economically and also, psychological
Yeah,
yung
but
nito.
in your opinion, would it be sustainable in the long term?
I think it's a good
Mhm.
for me it's a good investment diversification medium. Parang okay siya ilagay sa portfolio mo. But I wouldn't bank on it too much. Na hindi ako maglalagay ng, let's say,
Not putting all your eggs
Correct.
in one basket.
I wouldn't do
that's
that.
true.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very important pa rin to diversify.
But maybe you'll put like 1 egg, 2 eggs there.
Maybe
Okay.
30% of my portfolio. That's big.
Okay.
That's big.
In
Mm-mm.
NFTs.
Yeah, but
Okay.
still diversifying your
Yeah.
investments.
NFTs and cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Take it from Mr. CFO. So 30% of your portfolio
Yeah.
has to go, or not has to go, but
That's what I want.
that's what he would recommend,
Yeah.
to put in NFTs, maybe to invest, earn a little more money there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, thank you so
Sure.
much for
Yeah,
sharing.
Sure.
thank you.
Glad
so
to
that's
share.
actually the only listener question that we have today, but we wanted to say thank you, Alex,
worries.
for all the insights. I started this episode right with not knowing anything about NFT, and it's very, very important to learn about these things. Again, we have to stay up with trends, right? And be
Mm-mm.
more knowledgeable
Mm-mm.
about what's happening. So thank you, Alex, for sharing all your insights. Thank you also to our listeners who stayed throughout the whole episode, and we hope you enjoyed this episode about NFTs. Kyra, is there anything else?
If you guys have any questions about NFTs, you can send the message to us. We can forward it to Alex. Or you guys, can go to him directly, check out his companies, both NFT and blockchain side of things. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give some love online, share it with your friends, your family, family friends, friends of friends, all those things. There's a link also in
Yeah.
our description. Feel free to check it out, to drop a message. and share about it.
If you guys enjoyed this, invite more friends to join the brand builder, so that they can learn more about the interesting stuff that we talk about here. So again, thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you
I
guys. Thank you for
hope
having
you
me.
guys
Thank you, Alex.
learned a
Sure.
lot about NFTs. Again, this is Steph,
Hope you guys learned.
And this is Kyra.
This is Alex.
and this is the brand builder. Bye.
Bye.